Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawalah. In some of the aspects of the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recorded the conversation with Yusuf alayhi salam and the two prisoners. And each one of them came to him so that he would give them the interpretation of their individual's dream. And subhanallah, they said, the reason why we came to you with this dream is because we saw you, inna naraka min al-muhsinin. We've seen you to be amongst the muhsin. A muhsin is somebody who goes out of his way to be of assistance to others when he does not have to. But it is the drive in him due to qualities that person possesses that would push the individual to go out of his way, out of her way, to put others before themselves. And that's what they've noticed in the tafsir of this incident as to why they gave that reasoning behind why they came to Yusuf alayhi salam is because every time somebody in the prison would get sick, Yusuf alayhi salam will attend to him until get better. Anybody who is in need of anything, Yusuf alayhi salam would go out of his way to provide care, help, although he is a prisoner just like everybody else. But subhanallah, and that continued with Yusuf alayhi salam because it is a staple of who he is alayhi salam. The same thing his brothers came to also make as a statement about him, because when they came from Palestine to Egypt to get some help and aid, they've noticed that Yusuf alayhi salam was very generous with everybody because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now had led him to be in charge of the whole Department of Agriculture. And then due to famine and drought that had hit the area, Egypt was the only one who had enough sustenance for everybody due to the advice of Yusuf alayhi salam. And that's how for 7 years there was quite the famine. And then this is why he asked to be in the position of administration and the one to be in charge of the whole operation of rationing and helping and giving aid. So they saw his brothers. I didn't even know who he was, and he knew who they were. But the point, they also told him, Inna naraka min al-muhsin. We've seen you that you are amongst the muhsin. The muhsin in Arabic, it comes from Ihsan. Ihsan is excellence. Excellence is a grade higher than good. And this is, for instance, somebody who wants to do a job. He can do a good job, but he can also does an excellent job. And the same thing goes for everything. And subhanallah, excellence comes through so many different ways. And one of the best ways to really show the excellence of character with a person is when that person is civically and publicly engaged, and he is always there to be of service to others. And this is, you will see this front and center, that those who are civically engaged and publicly always participating and helping in any capacity Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show them, these are people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would equip and give them the tools to really perform and to aid and help and be of service, subhanallah. This is why the Prophet ﷺ says in a hadith that was collected by Imam al-Tabarani on the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhuma, he says sallallahu alayhi wasallam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would select few people. There is a category of people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses, and specifically select through bestowing upon them blessings, and with those blessings they would be of benefit, of help, of sustenance, of aid to others. And for as long as they are using those blessings to be of assistance to others, Allah will continue to give them from those blessings and even more. And He said, the minute that the people would withhold those blessings from people, Allah will take those blessings away, and He will turn it over and hand it over to somebody else who will recognize the blessing, will be grateful to Allah for the blessing, will also dedicate the blessing to be of assistance to others. And this is why, subhanallah, Ibn al-Hanafiya, the stepson of Ali ibn Abi Talib, used to say, Ayyuhan nas, O people, beware of the fact that when people come to you for their needs is due to blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon you. He handed you those blessings for the same reason, and that is to use it to assist others. So any of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's given gifts and qualities in us, we ought to recognize those blessings and which of those blessings can be used to be of assistance to others, subhanallah. And not only that, but you are intentional about being of assistance, being civically engaged and always participating publicly. It's when you attach to it the intention and the beautiful loftiness that it is because you wanted the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that takes it to the level of excellence. And then with that, the benefits are limitless from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, part of which is Allah ta'ala will put in the heart of that person the consistency of always doing good, and Allah ta'ala will close the floodgates of any tribulations and any distractions, mentally, that is, socially, economically, family, any of those, health. Allah ta'ala will close the gates of trials and tribulations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the affairs of that person smooth and easy, to where a person would feel as though things are taking an autopilot way of being done, and done to excellence. And that's where the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala manifest. Not only that, but also the clarity of mind and thought and belief and loftiness of character. And this is why istifa, and that is the fact that Allah ta'ala will select a person. Istafa in Arabic, it means purify something, meaning there could be a lot of pollutants and it could be contamination in a person's character, mannerism, moral principles and ethics and all. It could be polluted. Allah Ta'ala will purify them through that initiative that a person starts on. The route of always be dedicated civically and publicly is, subhanallah, one of the most beautiful and the quickest way to excel and into loftiness of iman, of belief, loftiness of character, loftiness of behavior, of morals, of it, all of it. Because then it is the aid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that will touch those areas about a person to launch him and propel him into excellence. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those who, when they hear this speech, they follow the best of it. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.